Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome to an unusual interview, as this is going to go along with the launch of the much-anticipated Yellow Brick Formula 5-day sprint that's starting next week, where we are going to show how just one skill can create real wealth without worry. And if you master this, you'll never worry about money again. I'm Philip Gonzalez, and my guest today is Sean Donahoe, a guy who came from one of the poorest parts of Scotland, and after moving to America, built a multi-million-dollar empire from zero, built and scaled many software and training companies, is a leader in the business and marketing space, and has worked with multiple Fortune 500 companies and some of the biggest financial institutions in the world. Now, since then, he's semi-retired in paradise, living a life of luxury, and basically does what he wants, when he wants, and has the resources to do it. That sounds exciting to me. So, with all that said, Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here. And, this is a little unusual. Most people have these big explainer videos and everything else and, very bad PowerPoints. I thought we'd do something a little bit different. So I'm very excited to do this.
Well, different is good. And I mean, you're a living testimony of that. Your bio says you live a life of luxury, Sean. What does that look like for you?
Well, it means basically I could do whatever I want. Maybe on the racetrack, racing motorbikes, or cruising all over Asia, or sitting on the beach with those funny wee drinks with the funny wee umbrellas. Basically, I've got a license to do whatever the hell I want. And after all these years of doing what I've done, bloody well earned it. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell.
I love that. Well, and you talk about where you are now, but Sean, you were telling me before the show, I mean, this isn't an accident, and it wasn't just dumb luck. I mean, you have actually found a way to build real wealth without worry in under 60 minutes a day with this online business with the Yellow Brick Formula. And this is without the need for products, marketing, ads, affiliates, traffic, and all the headaches that come with most conventional online businesses. And that's a big claim, but you didn't even stop there. You told me earlier that you can make a consistent and predictable 100% to 2,400% profit almost every time you do this one thing. I mean, that's a lot to claim. Are you for real?
Yeah, it's very true. We're going to get into that in a little more depth here in a moment. But yeah, that's absolutely right.
All right. Well, now that we've wet the whistle, I do want to take a quick moment and kind of figure out where you came from, because as we all know, we all have a story, and your story is really unique. Tell us a little bit, how did you get into all this, and where did you get started?
Well, it all started in 1999. I was working in a place called Nantucket, which is off the coast of America. When I came here, I had nothing. I came from, like you said, very poor part of Scotland, and I decided to get the hell out of there and come to America, where you had, I grew up with Dukes of Hazzard, Knight Rider, A-Team, so you had all the cool cars over here, which was a great bloody start for me. And these cute American chicks, that was, when I was a kid, that was bloody important. But where I was working with a real estate company, helping out and everything else. I wasn't a broker, so I didn't get all the nice commissions. But I was surrounded by millionaires and billionaires who were buying $25 to $50 million homes. And I'm looking at this as an entrepreneurial 24-year-old trying to figure out, what are they doing? Okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Because some of these guys were not that much older than me at the time. I was only like 24. And, that's really what I wanted to dig into. And they were telling me, hey, they were all like Wall Street types. Most of them were Wall Street types, working, on the street and everything else. And I'm like, well, how do I get a slice of that pie? And I was asking them what to do and everything else. They started to say, hey, you know what, invest in tech. Invest in tech, anything with a .com on the end, load up your boots, as we say in the industry. And, I had some savings that I built up over, a year. And it was all, just sat there because I was building up an nest egg to start my other businesses and ideas I had. And I thought, well, okay, I'd been working my butt off for this money, and I was a little hesitant because I knew nothing about investing, nothing about trading, and that's kind of like my big dark secret for anyone who knows me in this industry is I've been a trader since 1999, but I wasn't bloody successful. We're going to get into that initially to start with. So, I only knew a little bit what I saw on TV and the bare minimum of how the markets worked and everything else. So I did some research, looked at the data, and saw how parabolic, just everything tech was going woof, and, tech stocks are going up, or, so I thought, and well, everything is going up. So, hey, guess what? If I get in, it's going to keep going up, right?
Well, obviously, that's the hope, that all the tech stocks keep going up. I mean, a lot of people were in the market at that time. Is that what happened for you?
Well, yeah, I bit the bullet. Eventually, seeing all of this money going up and everything else going up, I decided to bite the bullet and, take the advice. And I used bunny fingers for that. And bought Yahoo at 97. That's the one that I was hearing the most about. And I stupidly, and this is kind of presupposing the outcome, I stupidly put my entire life savings at the time on this one stock. It was like going to the casino, putting it all on red. And, now, at first, it went up a little bit. I thought, oh my God, I'm Warren Buffett. I'm already spending the millions of dollars I think I'm going to earn over time in my head and everything else. Now, if you know your history, this is 1999. The end of 1999, and you know what happened next if you know your history. At first, like I said, it went up, and then Y2K rolled around, and everything hit the ground. I mean, it was the dot-com crash, and I lost pretty much bloody everything. I just watched it going down and down and down, and I watched my life savings, which was only 8K, which, back then was everything I had, and I just watched it all just disappear. There was nothing I could do. So just like, boom, giving it to the market gods, the Wall Street smoke, and, I called on these so-called experts, and they were like, it's just a correction, nothing to worry about, just wait, it's fine. And all the time, I'm working in the real estate. I'm seeing them all sell their houses. I'm watching their very fast cars get repossessed, and they don't give a damn about me. Obviously, I'm just this kid from nowhere who's just put his life savings in, but it's a tiny freaking fraction of what they're dealing with. They don't give a damn. And the funny thing is, that one trade I did took a full 17 years to recover to the price I bought it. Now, I long since kissed that money goodbye. It was a very painful lesson, but it was a bloody lesson. First thing is, again, I'm not going to trust Wall Street experts to tell me where to put my money, but I wanted to learn what to do, because I see millions and billions of dollars, traded all the time, and I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to find out how to get my slice.
Wow. Did you say it took 17 years for that stock you bought to get back to where you bought it at?
Yes. Yeah. That was, just looking at it, is absolutely ridiculous. And there were many other kind of horror stories in and around that time, and so many people lost a lot more than me. I mean, I joke about it now, but a lot more people lost a lot more because they were trusting a system that's not really working in their favor. And just listening to the experts who really don't give a damn about your money. That's what the most important is.
Well, it sounds like, obviously that was a really intense time. I can't even imagine putting my whole life savings in and watching it vanish. Were there other people that were kind of walking with you through it, or was this something you had to go through alone?
No, unfortunately, all the industry experts vanished. They got rid of all their property and everything else. And again, I had to figure this out for myself because I just wouldn't trust anyone else at that time. I certainly wouldn't trust industry experts. So I basically went out there. I bought every book I could on the topic. Okay, every doorstopper, great bit. Some of these things you could use as lethal weapons. They're drier than a camel's backside. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I bought all the programs that were available on CD. Home study programs and everything else. And a lot of them were mostly outdated, overly complicated, or just fluff and BS. And I probably spent in total over time. Now, by this time, and over the time I dove into this, I was starting other businesses. I was starting to be pretty successful at what I was doing. But I spent probably a total of about $60,000 on my, I would say, trader education, and I really didn't have much to show for it at the end of that. And it was just because there was nothing that really resonated for my specific needs, and that was a real big frustration at the end of the day.
Now, Sean, you talk about your specific needs, and obviously, different people are different, but I know that with you running different businesses and having other things going on, you couldn't afford to be stuck at a desk for 12 hours a day trying to trade and make money in the markets. There's a lot of different approaches. Can you tell me a little bit about the different approaches you tried?
Yeah, well, like I said, there was all sorts of different theories and methods and systems and everything else. GAN theory, Elliott wave theory, and yada. There's the whole list of fancy bloody names. But ultimately, I kept coming back to one, and it was called trend trading. Now, trend trading is an overarching method of trading, which is, hey, if it's going up, trade with the trend. When it stops going up, get out. If it's going down, trade with the trend, because you can make money when the markets are going down. And when it stops going down, that's it. And if it's going sideways, well, there's different ways to trade that as well. But the main thing is, it's kind of like going with the flow of a river. If a salmon's going down the flow of a river, guess what? It's using the current to help. Now, sometimes you can go against the river, but that that's going into a completely different area of trading. But the main thing is go with the flow. And that, because money flows like a river. Well, guess what? I want to step into that current, take out the money I want, and then get out when the current's not in my favor or it's a bit choppy, so to speak. So the whole principle worked very well for me because I didn't have hours to spend in front of a computer. By this time, I'm working multiple businesses, I've got multiple things going on, and this ends up being pushed to the side because my main income is coming from my businesses and everything else. So this, it was a need, but it was also became more of a hobby and a distraction to everything else I was doing at the time.
Huh. So it sounds like then, Sean, once you discovered this overarching strategy of trend trading, obviously that sounds like a major breakthrough for you. Was that pretty much smooth sailing from then on out?
I wish I could say it was. But what I lacked was consistency. And the thing is, again, everything getting in the way, business and everything else, and then I'm flicking through chart after bloody chart when I can, and I'm finding trades, but they're subpar trades, they're not perfect trades. And, finding a trade is one thing, executing it is another. And it took me many years of trial and error, blowing up accounts and starting over, and literally drill down to what I do today. Because what I do and what I do now is I bring a very analytical brain to everything. So what I do in business, and this was really one of the big things that helped, is bringing a business, analytical, systematic approach to everything, so I can remove all the noise and the BS, make it checkbox simple, so to speak, very algorithmic, if you will. And that allowed me to just clear the decks in a lot of ways. Now, like I said, I was running multiple businesses, so precious little time, and I had to work things so that it would work around my time, and I could, then dedicate that block of time to that, and then leave the rest of the day for myself. And, the thing was, until that point, I was literally about to give up. I was just feeling like I was getting nowhere at that time before this kind of systematic approach came. I was just getting frustrated. I was not seeing the results I wanted. Like many people in business, when starting a business, it's not going their way, they want to give up. There's always that challenge, that roadblock, a barrier that you just feel like you just can't get past. And I felt like, I'd wasted all these years, all the money of effort, the education, and it was just a waste of bloody time. And I started to really think that all these industry experts that I started to really dislike on Wall Street had a skill that I just didn't have. I just wasn't capable of it. I just didn't have the ability. And, I'm a determined and, I'm a stubborn bastard at the best of times. But even me sticking it out as long as I did, I was just spinning my wheels. But then I had an idea that came from a conversation with a client. And this was really the big slap in the face with a wet kipper, if you will. It was a random throwaway comment on a call where I was talking about their business. And I started talking about the 80-20 principle, that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Well, do that and then eliminate the 80% that's not getting you anywhere. And, that's it. Focus on the 20% that gives you 80% of the results. And even as the words came out of my mouth, and it was like a cartoon, like Wile E. Coyote and the big Acme anvil, it dropped in the back of my head with a big clang. I'm like, I couldn't wait to get off this bloody call. Because client was happy, we had a conversation, and then I just wanted to get rid of that call because I realized this was what I wasn't doing in my own business of trading. And this is the thing, trading is a business. People think trading is like the big bloody casino in the sky. It's this big, big pool of money and you just have to roll the dice the right way and everything looks, no bullshit. Here's the thing, it's a business. And when you treat it like a business, just like any business, there's different elements of risk involved, there's different things you have to do and processes, but it's money in, profit out. And that's the key thing. And when I brought that kind of mindset to it and I started focusing on just what is that 20%, and I started looking through all the stuff I was doing, I started looking at, in this case, stocks. I trade stocks, crypto, and everything else now. Anything, I trade beanie, to borrow my good friend Phil's throwaway line, I trade beanie babies on eBay if it was making me more money. It doesn't matter, it's a business. But at this stage, I just focused on 20 stocks. 20 stocks that had the best performance over the last however many years, 20 years. And if I focused on that, I could look at that while I'm having my morning coffee, and that's it. And what this did was, if there's a trade there, great. If there's not, walk away, come back tomorrow. Is there another trade again? And I started building this process, the production line process, like a factory. And by doing that, I eliminated all the noise, all the BS, had a very systematic approach to trading, which I now apply to all the different areas. I trade 3 areas: stocks, crypto, and a thing that we'll talk about in a moment, which is part of this yellow brick formula, which is the most lucrative, called microcaps. Now, here's the thing. The same principle applies from here to here to here. And that was really, that was the big thing.
Wow. That is, that's a crazy journey, son. I mean, so let me just recap to make sure I understand. So you come to America, you start working hard, you jump into the market, you think it's going to be something, but the traditional industry experts are wrong and you lose everything. And then you spend years and, what do you say, $60,000 at least investing and learning how all this works.
That's just the education. We won't talk about all the money I put into the markets and watch disappear while I screwed it up to start with.
Oh my goodness. So you're investing and you're losing all this money, but then you discover kind of the big picture of trends and trend trading. And then you figure out this 80-20 principle. And now, I mean, how often do you spend, how much time do you spend each day trading now? I mean, you spend 2 to 3, 4 hours doing this?
No, thankfully. No, 20 to 30 minutes, and that's it. I'm basically, by the time I'm done with my morning coffee, I'm off for the rest of the day, and I can, bugger off on my motorbikes or go cruise or just chill out and do whatever the heck I want, and that was really the big thing. In 20 minutes, I can go through everything I need to do. It could be stocks, it could be the top 20 cryptos, it could be this other thing we're talking about with yellow brick formula. I'm done in 20 to 30 minutes. I can spend more time if I want to, but I don't have to. And that's the whole thing. The whole point of what I do is to build a life, build a business around the life I want. Stop trying to cram life around the business you have. And when that's something I really live by. And this allows me to have the time and freedom to do whatever the hell I want. I mean, you can have all the money in the world and no time, and you are not wealthy. You're a slave to the work. I've been there. Don't want to do that again. You can have all the time in the world and no money, and that we know how that story goes for most people. But if you have time and money, that's real wealth. That's real freedom. And that's what I focused on for many years, optimizing everything I do to allow me to do that. And that's why in my mid-40s, retired in paradise doing whatever the hell I want when I want. So,
Wow. And that's today. I mean, that's your life today. And so if you're semi-retired...
I've been for many years now, so that's the cool thing.
well, let's dig into this one hidden area you talked about. I mean, you mentioned that you have, maybe you could call it a trifecta of trading, right? You've got your stocks, your kind of traditional things, you have your options, and then you said there's this one hidden area. So this is something that not a lot of people know about. Is that right?
That's absolutely true. Here's the thing. Not many people know about it. Those that do, there's a big percentage discount it, and those that know usually do it wrong. And the thing is, so it takes just one core skill. And it's the same skill that I've applied for 24 years over here to mainstream crypto, like your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, and everything else. And then it took me a while to realize that, hey, this other area called microcaps, and these are, it's in the crypto space, but these are new companies, new projects launching. These are the cutting edge of tomorrow's tech today. These are companies that can't go to Wall Street and go IPO. They're using tokens and coins and microcaps, microcapitalization, just for technical. We're trying to avoid tech verbiage here, but they're using blockchain technology and Web3 technology and everything else to launch these new businesses, to raise funds for their businesses, and they're developing tomorrow's technology today. So we look to get in early on these, find a point to get in that makes sense. In other words, there's a high probability of profit. Get out for 100, 200. Sometimes they hit, they're like a home run outfield, and they can go up to 2,400. I've seen really ridiculous ones that go up to 3,200%. And you're just like, okay, happy bloody days. A few of those have bought some of my motorbikes. I've only been in Thailand a year now. I've already bought 5 bloody motorbikes. And again, it's this one area that's done that. So thank you very much. But this is what it's all about. It's one skill. Okay, and this is the thing. Anyone can learn this skill. Now, it took me years to realize that everything can be drilled down to this one process. And like I said, it's just another business. I mean, think about this. If you open up a shoe shop on the high street, what do you got to do? You've got to get premises, you've got to get stock, you've got to hire staff, train them. You've got to go do all the marketing. You've got to then get people to come in, do all your transactions, hope to God you're profitable while the bank manager's breathing down your neck for all the money you possibly borrowed to finance this. Or think about like a website. Okay, so you want to promote affiliate products. Okay, so you've got to build a website, learn how to do that right, get all the affiliate products, do all the marketing, the traffic, the social media, the funnels, all the other BS that goes with that. That's a lot of skills you have to learn. And most businesses, even online businesses, which everyone thinks are the easiest thing in the world, or conventional businesses, they've all got very similar requirements of the entrepreneur in the middle of all this. They've got to wear many hats, learn and master many different skills, or pay other people to do it, and hope they're going to end up at the end of it with profitable. Now, the thing is, all that is risk. For what we do with trading, here's the thing. You do one thing. You find a place to get in, place a target to get out. If you hit it, great. If you don't, okay. As long as you're winning more than you're losing, you're profitable. And the other side of this is you can practice without risking a dime, unlike any other business model. You can practice with paper trading. Now, that just means, hey, I would have got in here, I would have got out here. Following the strategy, you can practice it on paper, get good at it, and then go live. Start small with Starbucks money, as I call it, like a $5 trade here, or a $50 trade, or 20, whatever, you're starting small. The whole point of this is you start with a small amount where you don't worry about if you spill this cup of Starbucks. That's it. Okay, I can go get another Starbucks. It's all right. So the whole point of this is you start small, prove to yourself you can do it, and then you can scale at your discretion with just one skill. You don't have to master every other thing that you need for businesses. It's just this one thing, and you do it again and again and again. And it becomes like muscle memory. It becomes a habit. And when you have a good strategy, a good approach, that is where over time that money builds and builds and builds. And that's what I've done for the last 24 years in every aspect of this. And one of the things, if you already have an income stream, by the way, and you've got something going on, want to know my secret? One of my biggest secrets, how I 10x'd my results, is every month I put more money into my pot. Rather than just starting out with a small sum and just trading that and, that's it over here, I invested in myself and in my business of trading and put more money in and let that grow. That's why I take every dollar I make and make an extra 10, because I trade it over time. 10, 20, doesn't matter. The thing is, it grows. Every dollar is like an employee in this business over here, and it's making me more money. So even if I'm taking a tiny skim, well, I put it over here, and my account just grows that much faster. That's what I've done for many years, and that's one of my biggest secrets. I probably should have said that, but hey, what the hell? This is no holds barred, nothing held back, and Philip will get a laugh out of that. But yeah, this is what we do, and this is what I want to share with the world.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit then, Sean, because, obviously you're in such a great place right now. You've been heavily invested in learning these secrets and then applying them for 24 years. I have shoes that are, well, anyway, you've actually done it, and you've made it your personal mission, it sounds like, because you want to teach others. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. Listen, truth is, yes, I'm semi-retired. I can never fully retire because I love what I do. And I love sharing this with other people. And I've been teaching other people since 2015 and sharing it with people who want to learn. And there's only so many weekends I can go to the racetrack, only so much around Thailand or Cambodia or Vietnam I can go on my bike, And I get bored easily because I have high definition ADHD. HD ADHD, and there's too many characters in that as it is. So those are my other passions, and that's great. But the thing is, I know what impact this has had on my life and that of my students. And we have one of the most popular podcasts in trading, and we do all this stuff because I love talking about this. I love sharing this. And it really is my mission to teach as many people this one skill as possible, because I know the impact it has on lives. I've seen people quit their jobs in 60 days. I've seen people retire and make a full-time income in retirement. I've seen, people who've struggled in every other kind of business suddenly go, holy shit, this works. Oh my God, Sean, you've changed my life. We had one guy who did $104,000 in one trade. Now, this was an exceptional trade, but he went from a very small amount to $104,000 in 24 hours. And he's like, I went to the restroom, it's gone up $50,000. I've never seen anything as crazy as this. Again, that's a rarity, but it's happened. It's actually somewhere on this page. I put it down there to show you. And I'm very passionate about this, as you can tell from this, and it's something I'm very proud of, is the impact we've had on different people's lives.
I love that. You talk about impacting lives, and you talk about teaching people this skill and this ability to trade in this unique way. But here's my question for you. I mean, I know that you are obviously decorated graduate of the School of Hard Knocks. Is that something that everyone has to go through to get where you are today?
Oh, hell no. This is kind of like the point of what we're doing. I want to help everyone. Look, there's loads of people here who know what trading is, and they're scared of it. Let's be brutally honest here. A lot of people are scared of trading. They're scared of, they think it's complex. They think there's a lot of challenges. You have to be a math whiz and all the rest of it. The truth is, no. There's one area of trading that, for people who are just starting out, I think is perfect. If I had to go back in, jump in a DeLorean, hit 88, go back in time, and I could focus on this one area, it would be this one thing. I would forget everything else and focus on what we're teaching in this 5-day masterclass. And it is really, to me, the most lucrative area. Now, I mean, here's the thing. A couple of years ago, I came across a guy. And again, I've been in this industry a while now. And I got this connected with this guy. He was introduced to me and said, Sean, you need to talk to this guy. He's really bloody good. He's, he created and generated 1.2 million in under 4 months. And I'm like, all right, an impressive number. And I wanted to know what he was doing. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of bullshit in this industry, in the trading industry, just like there is in the internet marketing world, the business world, and everything else. We know it. Look, my radar was going like that. Okay, I'm like, okay, but this was from a trusted source. I'll listen. So we get on a Zoom call, and I'm, Mr. Doubtfire here. Just like, okay, let's hear the bullshit. And he showed me what he was doing, and literally within minutes, I'm like leaning in, and I'm looking at it. I'm just like, my brain's, business brain's going, holy crap! Do you realize what you've got here? Do you realize what you're doing? And he goes, yeah, this is what I'm doing. He's not a trader. He's a doctor. Okay, he was studying to be a doctor. So again, his time was short. He was doing this around his studies, and so a lot of the principles gelled with me perfectly. And then I'm like, dude, I'm a real trader, and if I combine what I've done over the last 24 years with what you're doing right here, and all the principles, the strategy, the checklist approach, and everything else, we've got something bloody amazing. And he's like, oh, tell me more. So we started fusing all this together. And then what I did is I took a group of students, a small group of students, and said, listen, I want to teach you this. We're going to do this in a closed environment, in a masterclass, and then we're going to continue that study. So I took that 2 years ago, okay, and their results have been absolutely amazing. I mentioned one guy who did like 104, we got another guy who did like $500,000 he built up to pretty bloody quickly. We got other people who are consistent, 100%, 200%, and that's what we're aiming for, okay? Hey, if we get 100% profit, happy days. Remember, Wall Street, the big experts, they're lucky if their entire fund does 11 to 12% a year. Okay. Students are doing 100%, 200% consistently. Hey, there's winners and there's losers, but overall, their winners were so much bigger than their losers because, again, we mitigate all the risk, we know what we're bloody well doing, and we only choose the best bloody trades. This is the whole point of this. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Again, we're going to be doing it. Now, that was 2 years ago, and then we've got 2 years of track record. You can see a lot of the results below this video as well. But hey, don't stop watching this video first. It's down there, wait till we're done. Now, the thing is, I decided to do this again, because I did this with a small group of students, but now I want to open it up to a much wider audience, and that's what we're doing on the 25th.
Fascinating. All right, so what I'm hearing you say then is that kind of brings us back to what we touched on, where you're claiming that you are helping people generate 100% to 2,400% consistently with this one skill. So let's talk about that a little more. I know you're going to do the whole masterclass. Can you give us a little teaser how you actually do this?
So absolutely. What we're going to do is, like I said, 2 years ago we did this private masterclass over a few days. It was like 5 days. Now, since then, obviously, we've optimized it, we've honed it, we've got it down to where we can take anybody. Doesn't matter previous experience, whatever you've tried and failed at. We've got this down to a fine science. So what I'm going to do is, over 5 days, I'm going to break down exactly what we do. I'm going to guide you through it. And we're going to do this all together. I'm going to teach you this one skill that when you master it, you will never worry about money again. Now, that's a big-ass, bold claim, but we've already done it. This is a proven system. You can see all the proof below. And here's the thing. It's all bloody verifiable. You can go look on the blockchain, and it's right there. You can see all of this. Now, here's the thing. We're going to be doing, literally guiding you every day, for 1 hour a day, 5 days. And at the end of this, you're going to have the skill. You can go out, start doing it. You can start practicing. We're going to be doing it together during the training. I'm going to make you do this so that you can say, oh, that's how it works. And I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way. So it doesn't matter what you've done in the past, where you've struggled, where you've got stuck. This is really going to help you have real progress and something that you can say, holy crap, I can do it. Holy crap, this actually works. Holy crap, this isn't just some new AI tool that's going to make me a billionaire by producing really crap copy that I could just do in ChatGPT, or any of these other BS things I see out there that make me just want to just throw my computer out the bloody screen in horror. The whole point is that this works. It's proven over many years. It's the same, and it will work for many years to come, okay? There's no worry about saturation. There's no worry about, hey, this is going to be, the SEC is going to crawl up your backside and empty your wallet, or, here's the thing. This is all decentralized. It's recession-proof. It's not worried about, things like exchanges, if you're familiar with the terms, or, oh my God, it's crypto. No, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what Joe Biden's doing, Donald Trump's doing, or what Kim Kardashian had for breakfast. It doesn't matter about any of these things. It's completely disconnected, because guess what? There's many of these microcaps launching every single day, and they don't care about any of that. It's the same process, the same action, and that's what we're going to guide you through. We're going to help you build a real bloody business with a production line process that's checkbox simple over 5 days. And you can start small. You can start with zero risk, because you can just paper trade. You can start with a small account. You can start with a larger account. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You can do this. So you're going to get a predictable, sustainable online revenue, building a real online business you can operate from anywhere in the world. There's no restrictions. If you're watching this right now, you've got everything you need. You can do it in under 60 minutes a day, and the rest of the day is yours. It's a very easy to follow process, and it puts the power back in your hands to control your future, to give yourself some security and comfort, and build real wealth without worry. So, here's the thing. When we first did this, it was $1,999, okay? Which is a big chunk of change. But like I said, I want to make this as accessible to as many people as possible. I mean, it's time to open up the floodgates, but we can only do this for a limited time. I'm not going to have 20,000 students come in and then I'm just going to end up in the loony bin here. You'll see pictures of me on Facebook with a straitjacket on, just dribbling. We don't want to do that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor those that want to get off their ass and make a real change in their life. It's only going to be $99, okay? So it's a 95% sponsorship. Now, here's the other thing. We've got multiple options for multiple budgets, okay? I don't mind where you are. Look, some of us have got, no problem, done, great. But we've got multiple options for wherever you are, because I want you in this masterclass. I know the impact it will have on your life. I'm going to give you everything on a silver platter, but here's the thing. I can only do that if you take action. Now, all the information obviously is below this video here. This is a very unusual hybrid of an interview and sales video. But the thing is, I wanted you to see me. I wanted you to hear me and what we're doing and the journey that got us here. But also, this is the start of your journey.
And it sounds like there is no better way to start. I mean, Sean, what I'm hearing you say is you're offering a predictable, sustainable online revenue in under 60 minutes a day. You're offering an easy to follow process that anybody can do, even if they've never traded before, or if they have traded, been burned out, been disillusioned. And you're talking about building real wealth without worry. Personally, I'll be there. I can't see any reason not to. This is amazing. Thank you so much for doing this, Sean. This is fantastic. Now, we do need to wrap up the interview, but are there any other notes you want to share before we go?
Yeah, here's the thing. Look, everything is laid out below. We tell you exactly what we're doing day by day. Tell you, I give you an example of my morning routine and how this all comes together. What we've done with our students. You can see all their, you can see testimonials below from verified students. You can see their results. No one does that. No one has. I've never seen anyone do as many real, verifiable results that you can go and check yourself to see that, oh, Christ, this is real. So you can go through all of this. You've heard what I've had to say. You can go see all the stuff here. But the thing is, you've got to take action. If you change nothing, nothing changes. And I'm sure you're watching this right now because you want something different. You want something in your life that's going to help you get ahead. For some people, it's getting their head above water and then look to the future. So wherever you are right now, look, I am doing as much as I can to help you, to give you the path forward. And we're going to be with you every step of the way. So stop wondering about what you're going to do and get off your butt and do it. Okay? You take the Nike approach here. You're watching this because you obviously want control of your life. You want something different, but this is it. So go sign up. Let's get started. We start Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I would love to have you in this. I would love to guide you and teach you one skill so you can be our next success story.
Sounds like a plan. Alrighty, friends, you heard it here. If you're ready to go from worry without wealth to wealth without worry, sign up and start your journey today.
Absolutely. And like I said, look forward to seeing you on the other side. Let's get you started.